from anxiety relief to self-esteem to confidence to self-love is intertwined. If you have low self-esteem, it's hard to feel confident and love yourself. If you feel as though your anxiety is running your life, how can you trust yourself to make good decisions? And if you don't respect yourself, you're not going to prioritize your needs over others, make time to do the things that make you feel good, or go after your dreams. Self-respect means honoring your worth, preserving your dignity, and taking pride in your abilities. It means that at your core, you believe that you deserve to be treated fairly and with courtesy. You can already see the overlaps, right? It's all connected, baby.
You keep saying you love me, might be that's just a game.
Self-respect brings a shit ton of benefits with it to the party. You have more energy to dedicate to yourself and your dreams. You feel a sense of equality with others. You respect the quality of your work. You choose better friends, partners, and workplaces. You feel happy and fulfilled in your romantic life. You feel happy and fulfilled in your business life. You feel a greater sense of self-trust and therefore self-confidence. You know how to protect yourself, and you feel powerful and a sense of authority over your life. Sound good?
Then I'll come, I look around, of you there's not a trace.
While self-respect can be built and shown by following any of the advice in any of my videos, and I would urge you to do just that, I wanted to use this video to hone in on one very specific aspect of self-respect. People pleasing. Oh, I've hit a nerve already. Oh, now I don't suffer from this particular affliction, as my boyfriend would attest to. So I'm going to turn to the words of someone with more wisdom, and damn her, a more poetic writing style than I could ever dream of, Joan Didion, to intro The Ways of Those Who Please. We flatter ourselves by thinking this compulsion to please others an attractive trait, a gift for imaginative empathy, evidence of our willing to give. At the mercy of those we cannot but hold in contempt, we play roles doomed to failure before they are begun, each defeat generating fresh despair at the necessity of divining and meeting the next demand placed upon us. Oof!
Ain't enough for me to spend my time in care.
People pleasers want everyone around them to be happy, and they'll do whatever is asked of them to keep it that way. They put everyone else before themselves. For some, saying yes is a habit, whereas for others, it's almost an addiction that makes them feel like they need to be needed. It makes them feel important and as though they're contributing to someone else's life. People pleasers yearn for outside validation. Their personal feeling of security and confidence is based on the approval of others. So at their core, people pleasers lack confidence. But like Jones says, we can easily talk ourselves into seeing people pleasing as a positive trait. But what happens when we have no time to focus on ourselves? When we put everyone else before us? When we're too afraid to answer the phone or go to the shop for fear of bumping into yet another person demanding something of us? When you don't respect yourself, you become prone to excessive amounts of self-sacrifice, letting yourself be walked over and used, giving up on your dreams, among other forms of self-abuse.
You're just gonna love me from way back over there.
If you've been through trauma, been abused or betrayed, it can be really hard to find that self-respect. After all, the person who caused you that pain didn't respect you, and this can make you believe that you're unworthy of respect. Oh, but darling, you are. If we've been shown this disrespect before, it can feel as though it's only through other people that we can regain what was lost. If that person likes me, then I'm a good person. if that person loves me, maybe I can love myself. If they respect us, only then are we worthy of respect.
So step it up, step it up, step it up, baby, I'll be gone.
Let's all vow right now, pinky promise, to give less fucks about what other people think. Don't know what this was. And here's the kicker. When you learn to respect yourself, you show other people how to treat you, and their respect for you will grow at the same time. But don't let that be your motivation. Remember, we don't give a fuck. 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 This may be a really difficult change for you to make, especially if you have a lifelong habit of trying to please others. Your personal challenge may lie in putting yourself first without feeling guilty or selfish. But if you continue to put others first while feeling resentful or badly about yourself, your self-respect will inevitably continue to suffer.
You keep saying you want me.
Before you dive headfirst into turning down every opportunity that comes your way, we need to do some groundwork. I know. Yawn.
Push has come to shove. It's way past time and overdue to show what you're made of.
Letting go of people-pleasing tendencies isn't about saying no to absolutely everything. It's not 100 to 60, you know what I'm saying? So, we need to uncover what matters to you. What are you not willing to compromise on? What do you value in yourself and others? Is it honesty, discipline, sense of humour, ethics? Find what you value most and vow today to never compromise on those things. No matter how much someone else might want you to drop your disciplined approach just for one day or scooch your ethics aside to help them out. Knowing your priorities and values helps you to put the brakes on people pleasing. You'll know when you need to say no and when you need to say yes. If you're a people pleaser, your values might be along the lines of compassion, kindness, reliability, and that's okay. But instead of saying I'm never willing to compromise on those things when it comes to other people, flip it. You shouldn't be willing to compromise on those things when it comes to yourself. Being kind to you, showing up for yourself, and being compassionate when you make mistakes. There's a saying among psychologists, if you think better, you will act better. If you act better, you will feel better. And the reverse is also true. If you think poorly, you will feel poorly. Not like sick. Just shit. Your self-respect will just get lower and lower, and unhappiness will be your constant companion. Define your moral code and start to think better.
It's nowhere near enough, and I won't hold my breath.
We teach others how to respect us, so if you're constantly putting yourself down to other people, they will pick up on that and you will become their emotional punching bag. Speak about yourself with kindness and stand up to people who disrespect you. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke. When you're spoken to in a disrespectful manner, or someone demands something of you that goes against your moral code, and you stay silent rather than standing up for yourself, you are showing them that that's okay, that they can continue to do that, and that's just how they should treat you. Instead, remind yourself that you have a choice and you can lead their behaviour.
But if you come through for me, I'm yours in life and death. So step it up, step it up, step it up.
People with low self-respect, as well as talking badly about themselves, tend to undersell their knowledge, qualities and skills. This is obviously detrimental if you work for yourself and need to put a value against your time, but it goes way beyond that. As employees, it can lead to us not putting ourselves forward for opportunities, not speaking up in meetings and second-guessing our work. In relationships, it can lead to you settling for anyone who shows you any attention. And as people pleasers, it can lead to us doing things for other people that they could easily do for themselves, as we see their time as more valuable than our own. This is where that big old list of achievements that we talked about in my comparison video comes in handy. What qualities, skills, and knowledge did you use to achieve those incredible things? Those qualities live in you, and you should be selling yourself accordingly every situation. If your people-pleasing and low self-respect shows itself most in a professional setting, consider reaching out to someone in your field that you admire and asking them to mentor you. Look at how they market themselves, how they speak, how they hold themselves. It's likely they're not more knowledgeable than you about absolutely everything. They don't have skills beyond your wildest dreams, and they're not simply a better person than you. They probably just have more self-confidence, more belief, more respect for themselves. See what you can learn from each other. In relationships, make a conscious effort to put your best foot forward. Identify those qualities in yourself that you love the most and lead with those. Don't undersell yourself by connecting with people who don't fully resonate with you. Would you prefer to be happy with yourself but be alone? Or feel horrible about yourself and be in an unfulfilling relationship? You show your self-respect by knowing your value and behaving accordingly in all aspects of your life.
Baby, you'll be gone.
Once you've set the groundwork by establishing your non-negotiables and identifying all those badass qualities that you hold within yourself, it's time to start letting other people know about it. No. Can you? No. Yo, would you mind just... I don't want to. You have the right to set the rules of your own life. Shouldn't need to say it. People may react negatively because they're used to getting what they want from you, not because you're not fucking entitled to start getting what you want from yourself. Even your friends who ultimately want the best for you may be clouded by their own emotional baggage. So when someone tells you you'll never be able to do that, you shouldn't or you can't, ignore them and stick to your guns. You bloody well can. Macarena? Macarena. Macarena. Letting others know what isn't okay doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a strong and respectable person. When you stop saying yes to things that you don't want to do, you create more time and energy to put into the things you do want to do and spending time with the people who make you happy. We're at that crucial moment. How hard can it be to let one syllable leave your lips? Super hard. The first step to saying no is realizing that you have a choice. People pleasers tend to say yes as a reflex. It just vomits out at you guys. But you always have a choice. So the next time someone asks you to do something, anything, don't say yes. Don't say no. Stall. Let me think about it. Say you'll think about it. Then you can consider whether saying yes to them means sacrificing something you want for yourself. And remember, even if that thing is lying on your couch, drowning in crisps, that's your prerogative. Ask yourself, how stressful is this going to be? Do I have time for this? What am I going to have to give up? Am I going to feel pressured? Am I going to ultimately be upset with this person for asking me? Asking yourself these questions and giving yourself the space to ask these questions by stalling is vital, because so often after the fact you're left wondering, what the hell was I thinking? I neither have the time nor the inclination to help out. Stopping before the yes or the no and really considering the question means eliminating that regret later on. It can take as little as a 50 millisecond pause for you to make a better decision. So pause, consider, and then
Higher and higher. So step it up, step it up.
the first no is the hardest. Baby, I know. But once you get over that first bump, you will be well on your way to getting off the yes treadmill. If you're nervous about saying no, take a moment to remember the reasons why you're doing this. Whether your goal is to have more time for yourself, to trust your decisions more, or to simply practice self-love, the reasons that you're setting these boundaries are so important. And they are just beyond that no. Just a little.
Step it up.
Brits especially are notorious for constant, unnecessary apologising. You'd think we're all out here committing major crimes for the frequency in which we say sorry. If you don't hear what someone says, that is not a reason to apologise. Sorry, if you need someone to scooch 5 centimetres to the left so you can both fit down a corridor, sorry, could you just... Oh, sorry. You don't need to be sorry about that. And if you and someone else both reach for the same packet of Cocoa Pops, sorry. That is not a reason to find the nearest confessional. Constantly saying that word grinds down our self-respect. It makes us feel guilt in these tiny shot-sized doses. And before we know it, we are blackout. And that hangover is one that will last a lifetime. It's kind of like having a glass of wine over the age of 30. Take notice of when you tend to apologise unnecessarily, and next time you're in that situation, zip it. But when you genuinely need to apologise, make it count. An important part of apologising is learning not to make excuses. So that's just disrespectful to the person you're apologising to. Next time you're tempted to plead your case, check in with that inner barometer and listen to the truth. If an apology is called for, you should do it courageously and watch as your self-respect blooms.
You keep saying you love me, and that was just a kid.
People think that being assertive is stepping all over people, but assertiveness is all about connection. Using an empathetic assertion means that you put yourself in the other person's shoes as you assert yourself. Let the person know that you understand where they're coming from, but you don't want to help them. They'll feel heard and understood and respected. And the keen-eared among you will have noticed I said don't want to, not can't. This is super important when you're learning to say no to people.
Now you're here right by my side, brighten up my days.
If you say you can't do something, that just leads to more questions. I can't go with you. Why? I'm busy? Busy doing what? Etc, until they find a workaround and you're left doing the thing you didn't want to do in the first place. Instead say, I don't want to. Let me stop you right there. I don't want to go with you. This establishes a clear boundary, making you sound more confident and clear in your intention. Use that empathetic assertion, but be very clear. Leave them no wiggle room in your no. Dirty.
Was never enough for me to spend my time in care.
The fact is, self-respect has nothing to do with the approval of others. It has nothing to do with reputation. You can live a happy life without reputation, but not without self-respect. If you live without self-respect, you'll watch your failures play on repeat, like a nightmare you can't escape from. You'll lie awake thinking about every wrong turn, every mistake, every betrayal, and every broken promise. But if you got it, girl, the things you will achieve. People with self-respect have resilience. Not a hardened, unfeeling resilience, but a depth of character that stays true to who they are and what they need. They accept responsibility for their life, both the good and the bad. This kind of self-respect is a discipline. You must practice it in every situation. It's a mental habit. It takes work, and you can't fake it. I'll start as I began, quoting the ineffable and highly respectable Joan Didion. Have that sense of one's intrinsic worth that, for better or worse, constitutes self-respect is potentially to have everything. The ability to love and remain indifferent. To lack it is to be locked within oneself, paradoxically incapable of either love or indifference. If we do not respect ourselves, we are On the one hand, forced to despise those who have so few resources as to consort with us, so little perception as to remain blind to our fatal weaknesses. On the other, we are peculiarly enthralled to everyone we see, curiously determined to live out, since our self-image is untenable, their false notions of us, to assign unanswered letters their proper weight, to free us from the expectations of others, to give us back to ourselves. There lies the great, singular power of self-respect. Without it, one eventually discovers the final turn of the screw. One runs away to find oneself and finds no one at home. And remember, respect yourself. You don't need it from anybody else.